Here we are at 2924 Wagon Wheel Court, Fort Collins. Quiet little neighborhood here. One thing I will let you know is right where all these houses are right here, the major road that goes from south to north is just right behind that. So you do get quite a bit of road noise, especially when you start getting louder vehicles there. So something to note, but in a cul-de-sac, so not much traffic coming through here, of course. And the major traffic you're hearing is definitely going to be from that main road. One major expense is definitely going to be this big sycamore tree, it looks like. It does reach up and above the house and does get over the house, so trimming that and keeping that back away from the roof is going to be a big deal. That's probably about a $6,000 to $7,000 tree to take down, or over time about $1,000 to $2,000 to continue to trim up every few years. Concrete on this place is in pretty good shape. Looks like they've done some patchwork and some extra work as well. They do have a RV spot that goes to the backyard here that is all concreted in. Garage door is in good condition. Brick is in good condition. The one negative about the exterior on this one is that it does have vinyl siding. Anywhere where you're seeing it being white is a vinyl siding. One, it collects mold over time here, and then two, if we ever have a major hailstorm or anything like that, damage to the siding can easily occur. So just something to keep a note of. A little dark right there. All right, there we go. Stepping right on in, takes you into one of your living rooms here, your front living room, and then swinging across, it does take you upstairs from the main front door. And then takes you straight through. We'll do a little circle here, or a square here, just to show you the rest. But show you the first main living room. Massive living room, really good size. Carpet in here is decent. Probably at some point, the entire carpet in this household needs to be replaced. Just something to note. Popcorn ceilings. There are no lights in this main living room. So lamps or getting someone to come in and put lights in here would be the other alternative. All the windows in this house are probably at their kind of last stages. They are a wood window, so they were a higher quality window back in the day, but they have seen quite a bit of use. So windows at some point would need to be replaced, but there's nothing major on them yet that says like, oh, there's a crack or a break or anything like that. They're just getting older and a little more worn. Ceilings in here are all 8-foot ceilings. Like I said, this just has a lot of square footage on this house, so everything in here feels nice and open and inviting. From that front living room, you have your dining room area. Yeah, plenty of space. I mean, obviously you can tell, good 6-person table here. You could probably even fit an 8-person table in here and be fine. LPV flooring for the dining room, and then LPV flooring as we go through, and then tile for the kitchen. So there's quite a bit of different flooring throughout this entire home, so it doesn't feel completely feng shui, I guess is the best way to put it, in terms of just the feel. It feels like it's kind of chopped up because of the different flooring. Kitchen, decent size on that side. It does have its original dishwasher, so that would definitely need to be replaced. And then the stove as well is pretty original. Fridge is a Samsung, so I've never been the biggest fan of Samsung. They tend to break pretty quick. And so appliances in here at some point might need a little bit of love. It does have a pantry, but it does have very, very minimal cupboard space. Just something to give you a note on that side. The cupboards used to be the old oak wood cupboards that have been painted, and they put at least some new hardware in it. And then a lot of these windows that are facing towards the east actually look like they're in pretty good condition. The ones on the south and north side of the house probably look like they're in the worst condition, and the worst of the worst windows are going to be upstairs on the second floor. Well, I'll just show you guys quickly the cupboard. Could use some extra shelving in there. I mean, it's nothing spectacular, but you could turn this into a really nice little pantry. It's just very minimally done. And then these are just plywood shelving, not painted. Does feel nice and open in this area though. Kitchen into your main living room area. The front one I would consider is, you know, kind of the secondary living room. This has a real fireplace in it and has a good setup and feel for it to have a TV where that picture is right there, and then have your couch kind of set up against the wall where this window's at. Plenty of space for a good sized sectional here as well. Windows in this room also look like they're in good condition. Screens are definitely dirty, windows are dirty, so just something to note. Just noticed something while I was walking through. Looks like they have a little bit of a settling issue down here in this corner right by the fireplace. They filled it with spray foam, which I'm never a big fan of. Just doesn't look all that great quality wise. But this feels nice and open. Floor's in good shape and just has a good feel square footage wise. The first floor just feels really nice and open, and the ability to have separation if you want to have 2 TV rooms or something like that. Heading into the garage really quick. Concrete in the garage, just like the front driveway, is in good shape. They did actually insulate every wall in here, and then they did put a split unit in here as well. So someone at some point was using this for their workshop, and so this does have a heat and cool setting on it, so if you wanted to turn this into a workshop at some point, something like that, easily doable. And they also did put a tap in here for your washer and dryer. There is one downstairs in the basement, but I'm guessing they wanted one up here, so maybe that's the reason why they put in the split unit, to keep this heated during the winter time so that they could have their washer and dryer on the main floor, so that otherwise it is in the basement. Garage door is in really good condition. It has a newer Raynor garage door opener, which is Wi-Fi connectable. And then the electrical panel, just looking at it basically, is a newer panel as well. Probably when they had to update and do the basement. Last thing, garage is big enough for 2 vehicles to park in there with extra storage, and a larger vehicle can easily park in there as well. Coming from the garage, back to the living room, back to the backyard really quick. Backyard is massive. It's kind of an odd shape, but there's plenty of mature landscaping around here as well. Quite a few big trees here in this backyard as well. You got a big old sycamore back here. You got another big sycamore back in that corner right there. And then cutting around, you have 2 big evergreen trees, one a blue spruce and then another Colorado spruce, that are about 30-40 foot tall. So pretty good space. The fences could use a little love at some point, but they're all standing. They're all still holding strong. So it's just something to kind of note that maybe some repairs would need to be done in the future. This is that RV spot that I was talking about. So they do have the double gate that you can pull in and do the RV to. And then this is where they have that split unit for the garage, which is on this side. So they just put a little cover over it to protect it. Roof-wise, things are looking good roof-wise. Looks like they must have redone that previously. When I looked at the water heater and the AC condenser and furnace, those all look like they were in good condition. Does have the hookup for the hot tub. Wasn't able to pop the lid open on that to see how good of a condition that hot tub is in. But otherwise, to get rid of those, it's typically a few $100 to have a company come in and remove those. No irrigation back here, so just something to also note. So hand watering is going to be your biggest thing out in this area. But again, plenty of space out here. I mean, you could be throwing a ball for a dog and actually getting them a pretty good exercise back here. Looks like, again, some of the fence is falling down. And like I said, big vinyl siding on this one. So on the back side, the south side of the house is vinyl siding. The east side of the house is vinyl siding. Just that front garage is brick. And so vinyl siding does have issues over time versus the concrete OSB board, which we typically see out here. Do have a little garden bed as well. And then your AC condenser is on the south side. It is in newer condition. Walk back inside here. Oh, good, it transitioned well that time. We'll go check out the basement and then we'll do the upstairs last. I did forget, so in this little hallway between the front door and the main living room kitchen area is a quarter or a half bath. So just something there just to remember, and I'll show you. So I'm at the front door now. And then you have the access to the upstairs. So we'll just go upstairs really quick and hit the basement last. LPV, or wood flooring as the stairs go up. And then they tiled the backsplash to each one. Carpet up here, all should be replaced at some point. Popcorn ceiling up here as well. This would probably be considered the primary bedroom. This is the biggest bedroom upstairs. Trim boards in here all need some love. Windows up here, like I said, also need a little bit of love as well. Closets in here are also very small. Ceilings in the upstairs are 8 foot. And unique color choices. Ceiling fan got moved for some reason, so they have a little patch work there that doesn't look all that great on the ceiling in the primary. Like I said, the closets are pretty small, so not even a walk-in closet for the biggest bedroom. And this closet goes just right above the stairs. Everything in here could definitely use a repainting. New carpet upstairs. Bathroom up here also could use a little bit of love too as well. The upstairs definitely was neglected compared to the rest of the house. Second bedroom. So that bedroom, forgot to mention, king size bed plus any furniture you ever want could fit in that bedroom. Second bedroom, on the other hand, quite a bit smaller. Queen would be ideal for this bedroom. You could fit a king, but the furniture, extra furniture would be limited. This room's definitely a lot darker. This one, the first one the primary faces the west. This one faces the east. And with all the trees, it just stays pretty dark in this room, but also stays a lot cooler. Closet wise, it is a 4 foot long closet by 2.5 foot deep. And then here's the shared full bath. Laminate flooring. It is kind of a granite countertop with a built-in sink. Overall, bathroom's in good shape. I mean, fiberglass tub is in good shape as well. It just could use a little bit of updating at some point. And then you do have a linen closet right behind here as well, just for storage. And then I do apologize. So this is actually going to be what they have set up as the primary because it's got its own bathroom. So that first bedroom was just an extra bedroom. This bedroom's a little bit smaller than that last bedroom is, but still plenty of room for king size. That's like a full size mattress there, just for reference. So it makes this room feel a lot bigger, and then just plenty of room for anything you need. Carpet in here definitely needs replaced as well. This is one of the setups as well where the sink is in the main living or in the main room for the primary bedroom, and then the bathtub and the toilet are together. Laminate flooring in here as well. Fiberglass shower pan with the 4x4 inch tiles. Everything feels a little outdated up on this floor comparative to the main floor and then the basement when I show you that. And then this does also have a walk-in closet as well. Let's see if we can get you a better view. There we go. This room does feel dark. Paint would definitely make a difference, making this brighter. But this is facing south and west, and so probably just the time of day. But this window right here is pretty small. It's just a very small 3-foot long by 2.5-foot tall window. And then your other window is going to be covered up by this tree for most of the year. So the primary will stay darker and cooler, just kind of like the rest of the upstairs, except for that first bedroom I showed you. That's it for the upstairs, guys. We'll head down to the basement really quick. You know, if you could get this house, you know, in that $550 price point, you know, this thing would be well worth it. I think it is a little bit high for the work that needs to be done on the home. The square footage is great here. I think that's the biggest, you know, game changer for this home is just how much space you have here. But this home does have a lot of opportunity for equity in it, having that it has the basement, the upstairs, the middle floor, and how big the backyard is. It just could use a little bit of love and touch up. Over time, if you put in, you know, $50,000 to $75,000 into this home, you could bring out, you know, an extra $200,000 to $300,000 in equity over the next 5 to 7 years. So basement is just one big open space with a bathroom. This does have the kitchenette set up here as well. So this could be rented out as a completely separate unit, which typically you can get anywhere between $1,000 to $1,600, $1,700, $1,800 a month, just based off the market, just since it has its own kitchen. Doesn't have its own access, so that's one of the downsides. But this could definitely be a really nice little rental spot at some point, and then temporarily while you guys are living here is a good just open space to have for guests, or put a little movie room down in here. Very open, very wide, LPV flooring throughout. Finish wise, basement wise, this is pretty good. There's only one egress window in the closet area, which I'll show you here in a sec. And then they did do a bathroom down here as well with a very nice setup shower. And then they have a setup. They did a good job on this. It is a homeowner DIY job from what I can tell, but it looks good. Only problem is in this bathroom, they do have a vent, but you do get a very moldy smell in this basement bathroom because of the ventilation. But shower's really nice. It could use a little bit of cleanup. Everything in the basement's, I would say if I had to put it on a scale, it's like an 8 out of 10 in terms of quality of work. There's some dings, scratches, some things that I would fix up over time, but overall looks in pretty good condition. And then this is set up where you have the utility room in here, which I should have turned on a light for you. And then you also have your washer and dryer down here as well with a little folding rack and table. You do have that one up in the garage, so you could put one on the main floor and still have this one as a separate unit as well, but then you'd have to be running the heat during the winter time in the garage. So really is based off what you guys want. But this has an Amana furnace, which is in newer condition. It actually looks really good and sounds really good. And then you do have a newer water heater as well, 50-gallon water heater. Mechanical wise on this house, I think things look really good. Roof wise on this house, things look really good. And so it's really just the cosmetics, you know, replacing the windows in the basement at some point, replacing the windows upstairs would be a good thing at some point, repainting and retouching up things, updating the appliances in the kitchen, some point maybe down the road going in and changing out the siding from vinyl to concrete OSB would be really a nice touch as well. So some of those things, you know, like I said, $50,000 to $75,000, you can turn this home around and really make it nice and make this thing worth in the high sixes up into the high sevens potentially, depending on what you guys do with it. Well, let me know if you guys have any questions. You know, price point wise, this is a little high. Not sure if these guys would be willing to entertain an offer at like that $550 mark, but it's always worth trying on that side and seeing if these guys are desperate. Home is sitting vacant at this point, so they might have a desire to, you know, negotiate on that. But we'll only know if we actually throw something in at some point. So if this does fit and has the space, and you could see yourself living in here, you know, that's something we could definitely take a look at and see if it's worthwhile for you guys to want to submit some type of an offer. All right, guys, talk to you later. Bye.